Racing continues to the Breeders' Cup, and they'll be mowing the lawn in the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile North up in Canada. Let's take a look at this 10-horse field and start at the rail with El Tormenta. And this horse comes in with a 3 for 12 lifetime record and 3 wins in 3 seconds in 10 races at Woodbine. This is the local horse. Comes in with good form. I like his distance races at a mile last year where he was able to set the pace and then kind of just hang on. Really kind of ran them off their feet with some fast fractions. This year he's been kept in the sprint division, so now is really his first chance to stretch out this year and go back to the 1 mile distance. El Tormento, definitely the speed of the speed. He draws the rail, and I think he's going to be sent on a flyer here to see just how far he can take them. If they want to go real fast early, El Tormenta is capable of coming from just off the pace. LeCullen, this guy took a long time off, all of it, almost a year off, and then came back with 2 nice wins and gutted out a victory the last time at a mile in the Lure Stakes. The turf course was extremely fast that day, but he went fast early, took a little bit of heat, kind of took the lead on the turn, and then when a couple of horses didn't fire, opened up a 2-length victory, 2-length lead, and then held on for a nose victory with Sacred Life closing late and then outrunning at the end down the stretch, Ticonderoga. Luke Cullen's always kind of hinted at a little bit of ability. Not sure he's a Grade 1 horse, but he is in top form. The mile is his best distance, and he does seem to have a nose for the finish line. 5 wins in 11 lifetime starts for LeCullen. Have to consider him a contender, but I do think there's a couple of other horses I like better than LeCullen. Nicholas Gonzalez sends out Silent Poet, another local horse from Woodbine, 6 for 11 wins. Got a victory in the Play the King Stakes last race out, also a win before that in allowance race, and ran in some strong turf races last year as a 3-year-old. Like the turf pedigree and really should like the 1 mile distance. Like the fact that he's kind of ran a mile and 16th, a mile, 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs. Those versatile types usually do well in high class races at a mile. Silent Poet, going to be a little bit of a long shot on the board, but definitely a shot. Synchrony is a stone cold closer, and I like the prep at Woodbine. He won the King Edward Stakes, picked up a 97 Brisnet speed figure. He does have a 101 in the Monmouth Stakes race, and then also going all the way back to the fairgrounds, picked up a 93 speed figure back in February. So he consistently runs a 95 speed figure. I do think he's a horse that will like the big turf course of Woodbine, and so I think that last race might have been a little bit of an indicator that he'll really do well at Woodbine. Also, he does need pace. He's a total closer. He is what he is at 6 years old. 9 wins, 23 starts. He'll be over $1 million if he can run first or second in this race. So Synchrony going to be my top selection in the Woodbine Mile. I think he gets a good trip. I think he's going to get some pace to run into, and I think he's a closer. Got Stormy is the 8-5 morning line favorite, and she's a filly taking on the boys. She beat the boys the last time in the 4-star, Dave. That was coming back on 7 days rest. Ran on August 3rd, ran on August 10th, now comes to Woodbine. You know, the August 3rd race was a nice victory visually. Not really sure what happened when she came off the pace. Got a perfect setup. 108.1, they went for 6 furlongs. And I just think she really enjoyed a really good trip that day. I think she's very vulnerable here. I'm throwing Got Stormy off my pick 4 tickets, off my daily double tickets. And Got Stormy, I think, is going to be a little overhyped based on just 2 quick races of recent form. She has ran 15 lifetime races, and those last 2 races are really outside of her comfort zone. Before those last 2 races, she was a solid 90, 92, even a lot of 80 and 70 speed figures. Just not sure she's a 104 Brisnet speed figure. I think she's closer to a 95, and in that case, you've got Synchrony and a few other horses that can consistently run that. Awesome Tank is a European shipper from Great Britain. Gets the lay 6 for the second time and kind of tried to close into Sister Charlie the last time, and Sister Charlie is just too much for most horses in America these days. So I think this filly has a chance. I think I actually like her better than Get Stormy. So Awesome Tank, definitely a contender coming from just off the pace and should like the 1 mile distance. Raging Bull, another horse, will take a lot of beating in this race. Chad Brown sends him out. Get Stormy beat her the last time, but that time he came from 18 lengths back. Couldn't really judge the the finish just because the pace was too wicked. And I think both Get Stormy and Raging Bull lay a little bit further back than they normally like. Joel Rosario hops in the saddle here. Raging Bull, definitely my second choice in the Woodbine Mile. Meanwhile, American Guru on the outside moves up in class, only 6 lifetime races. Not sure he's ready for a grade 1 effort. And then rounding out the field, we've got Made You Look, another Chad Brown horse. This horse is hinted at being ready to take on this type of field. He's ran in some grade 1, grade 3 races. He kind of just can't seem to time his move right. Last time out, he made a move from third from 11 lengths back, took the lead, and then finished 5th to Get Stormy. I think if they make the right move at the right time, Made You Look is due for a top 3 finish at a long price and a big race. So definitely take a look at Made You Look. If Get Stormy doesn't fire and maybe a few of these other horses, Made You Look could be in the trifecta or the superfecta. Emmanuus, Connor Murphy sends him out, ships in Woodbine, last couple of races, grade 2s, now moves up to a grade 1. He's done well in this race with some horses in the past, but I'm just not sure this horse is ready to deliver a grade 1 effort in EMAS. Admiralty Pier, the outsider, 11 horse. This horse, again, lost to Silent Poet a couple of times, has faced El Tormenta a couple of times, so he's moving up in class, facing horses like Get Stormy, and then you get Synchrony, and then you also get Raging Bull into the mix. So I'm just not sure Admiralty Pier is going to break through with a grade 1 effort in this spot. We've got previews of the Iroquois Stakes and the Pocahontas. Don't forget, hit subscribe to get notified of all videos as we lead you up to the Breeders' Cup and the Kentucky Derby 2020 and the Kentucky Oaks. Woodbine Mile, who do you like? Leave a comment in the notes below. I'm going with Synchrony, also like Raging Bull, and El Tormenta, the rail horse. Going to toss out Get Stormy, and as an outsider, you may want to consider Made You Look. It's the grade 1 Woodbine Mile from Woodbine. Good luck, everybody.